Just some nice music, you know? Something to chill out to. Man, there's so many. I mentioned this before. I think that I don't know, man. I just don't know. Okay, I don't know what I was gonna say or why I was gonna say it. Wow. All right, I'm just kind of loosen up a little bit here, looking at some things that are, to me, kind of neat. I'm looking at some stuff mostly because I don't know. I don't know how to put this right. I just no. I don't want to see this. I got to yell at some people today. Well, we'll be streaming in a little bit. I'll give some time for people to start streaming, and during which I will just be sitting here, picking my nose, being the coolest guy around, as we all know. Man, got some daylight saving times fun finagling going on here in the chat. Now that we're doing this a little earlier, I should be safe, right, from the usual problem I have where there's like 1,000 things being said in chat. Big downside of streaming 3 hours from now is that, you know, everyone and their goddamn grandmother's up. Downside is that they're not up to watch the stream either, so. Boom, 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 ba. Boom, 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 ba. Ba, boom, 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 ba. All I'm saying is, I can't stop thinking about those beans. Can you stop thinking about those beans? Are you a bean enough man to stop thinking about them? What was he talking about then? Guess it didn't release yet. Oh well. Go think about those beans. Think about that cat's always in the wrong place at the wrong time. Aww. Oh no. Oh, that poor kitty. That poor kitty! Ah. I'll give it a couple more minutes and then we start the recording. We actually get going. On chapter 2. I gotta read chapter 3 and everything else, but I'll get there. I have time in the week. Gotta build the discipline to actually read stuff when I say I'm gonna read stuff anyway. I want to see what happens if I stay ahead of the curve. For once. By this point, if I were to do, what's it called? None in the Chamber, it'd be a duo. I think one in the Chamber is just gonna be like a Patreon goal, technically speaking. It's like, hey, listen. If I can truly laze about guilt-free, then I'll go for it. But otherwise, I don't know, man. I'm having one of those fun times where you have some discoveries about yourself as a person and what criticism is and how it reflects on you as a person and how you engage with it. And it's left me a little bit je ne sais quoi, is what I might say. Nice to actually just write and finish something, but every time I get close, my little brain goes zoom to the side. Alright. We're not here forever. Every day is preceded by another. And in due time, there will be no days left. So we can't just sit here and pick our noses like a bunch of nose-picking nose pickers. I don't want to hear any excuses about like, oh, but I can pick my nose indefinitely. I don't care how you feel about your nose-picking capabilities. You know that old saying, do you nose what if... Do you know? Oh God, I can't even say it without giggling. Because sometimes you're just in that kind of mood, you know. Your brain's just kind of left, right, up, down, doing the cool dance and all that fun stuff, and you just don't know where you are and where you're going and why you're going there and where you came from there, etc., etc. I say we just get going. All right, let's get you up here. Oh, let's get you up here. Let's clicky that, clickety that.
Oh, I gotta take out my headset for this too.
What are you on? I've been looking at a Wani Kiss, and all I can say is, my God. Overwritten is a word invented for that one. Let's get to the recording. I'm gonna start this recording off with the. I've looked at Wani Kiss, and I'm like, I kind of want to play that because I kind of think that it. Like, the voice acting, the AI voice acting they're apparently using is... If it's not AI, they're not good enough. They are bringing down the writing, which isn't great, but you know what they say? A bad actor can ruin a bad script. It is so overwritten. And it doesn't seem... Like, when you're writing something and the idea is that your audience understands that something is overwritten, like the point is that he is monologuing endlessly... You as a writer still have the power to say, and then we cut to the end of that conversation so that we don't actually bore the reader. You do that once, you write it out once, and afterwards you summarize. You don't have to bore me to death every single time Inko goes on one of his big ol' rants. That's all I'm saying. Respect my time at least a little bit. Jesus. He just keeps going. It's so funky how Inko just keeps going in that. It's like he never stops. He always has something else to complain about. I don't want friends, I want minions. Ah! What a loser. I'd like to say my recuperation was restful. Do you mean your rest was restful? But it was anything but. Jesus, stop the pleonasms already. I only have myself to blame. Well, that's mostly true. Wait, we're technically in a place in the world where we should be playing that funky song. So let's pull out. We're in Skin Row. We need to think Skin Rowian, you know. There we go. Well, that's mostly true. As for my luck, the building's heater was out, so an ice-cold shower later. You don't have to bathe every day, man. That's bad for your skin. I'm clean, but still varyingly sore, numb across my body. What did you do? My man, do you suffer actual brain damage? I'm at the right chapter. No, this is chapter 2. There it is, of cameras and gators. Artists and cameras and gators, oh my. My feet throbbed dully throughout the night, and rather than prioritizing sleep, I shitposted. Oh, because his feet were also driven on. I forgot about that part. And binged anime until the morning. Not even a new series, just some Kino I'd already seen a million times. Listen, man, if you want to watch it and you like watching it, that's all you need. By the time the sun rose again, I was considerably worse off than how I had started my day yesterday. That's keeping in mind the complete reality shift I'd experienced. Please stop calling attention to the twist you're not going with. That's a Chekhov's gun violation, and please. 2 days in, and it's already such a monotonous slog. I can only hope it'll be less eventful from here on out. Another couple of little dino donuts horked down. I definitely tossing the rest of these. Checklist run through. Sans knife. Did he just forget his knife or what? And I'm out of the door to the metro. Enough ban evading done yesterday, so I decide to just chill in the commute this morning. So, did original Anon buy the knife separately? Is that I don't really get the order of operations that is happening here. Like, is he just vaguely remembering that he should have bought a knife because he thought he was going to? I don't know. Or I guess maybe he's like, I need to bring my knife because I'm going to a polite environment, and it'd be kind of fucking weird if they found a knife on me. The early morning rays are eclipsed before I hear Mr. Ferris's deep timbre. Good morning, Mr. Moose. Morning, Mr. Ferris. Definitely not a good one, if those did exist. They do, Inko, but you have to draw a 5 and 500. Don't worry, you'll get there eventually. Someday. How did you experience your first day at St. Hammond? Should I try to save face and lie? No, that's dumb. Faculty or not, I doubt he's asking with any malevolent intent. He's not malicious, you mean? Truthfully, I was cooked after first period. Oh? How do you mean? Well, it was dodgeball for the first day, and I got clocked pretty hard. Nothing serious, I guess, but it meant an early exit for me. I think he's confused on the word cooked. And I don't think he knows what cooked means in the modern lexicon. I'm sorry to hear that, to have your first foray into school spoiled so.
Not even that tired.
He looks out of the metro window and nothing in particular, clearly deep in thought. Can you just let that speak for itself? You don't have to clarify everything. You can just say that he grows quiet for a moment. This might be a tad preemptive then, but what is your estimation of the school otherwise? What did you experience? From what you did experience. He just told you he left early. Like, with Inko, there was the excusability of, like, he didn't actually leave. He was there the whole day. But Anil just confessed that he wasn't there much. Like, just cut the scene at that point. Well, that's hard to say. I've had worse days at schools. How? You were kicked out, period one. A flash of concern from him. I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. Mr. Coach Solly is a real drill sergeant, but it's not like what happened was his doing. It's cool enough about it otherwise. And your fellow students? Nice enough. One blurry encounter notwithstanding, 2 of the students I spoke in any detail were kind to me. Mr. Ferris takes out a pen and pocket-sized pad. Thank you for your honesty, Mr. Moose. I do hope your experiences improve beyond today. If I can ask, what's this all about, Mr. Ferris? Oh, well, I suppose it's nothing clandestine, Mr. Potter. I am auditing the school, making sure everything is above board in every sense. What, like their tax returns? Not quite, though that is a part of it. The previous administration had perhaps not served the students' interest as they should have. Flagrant dismissal of budgeting, failing students in academic and social support, so on. They'd even throw end-of-the-year events to burn the rest of the budget. Of course, that pales in comparison to particular incidents of interpersonal student harassment. If it weren't for the paper trail, it could have gone on much longer. That's great. That's great to hear that you're having a fucking scandal. Oh. Maybe I was too quick to assume they didn't care about student well-being. Well, they hadn't cared, but it's changed now. That's good to hear. I do hope you'll keep an eye out, for your peers' sake as well as your own. The faculty is always there for you, and I believe we'll be Metro buddies for the foreseeable future. Alright. There's a slight problem coming up. If you consider me as a confidant. So, that's a confidante, but you're a confidant. You're just a confidant, without the E. Apparently you can write it with an E, but that to me sounds like, you know... I'm pretty sure in French, confidant is with... Oh no, it is with an E. Well, you learn something every day. Stop beating around the bush and say embezzlement. Just say the E word. I can't. I have to say money goes poof or I'll be demonetized by YouTube. We're sitting in a... We will be monetized by YouTube, Anon! The school can't work unless we please the ad lords. Yeah, the ad lords. You know, because of those damn woke leftists. You do know that the vast majority of companies operated in America and are not necessarily very left-leaning? Pretty sure they don't like capital very much anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then he just stands up and he walks away because he's just like, Anon, I'm fine talking to you and having a little chat, but I don't need politics on my morning commute, thank you. Especially not from, you know, someone like a third my age. Jesus, I don't think he's that old, but woof. I imagine he's in his 40s at the minimum, considering how pale he is and that he thinks mustaches are cool.
I do hope. Okay.
You know, I guess I never thought of it before, but I always thought of anyone in... Jesus Christ, don't repeat verbs like that! Say, I always assume! But I always assume anyone in power is completely out of it for themselves. Limp-wristed attempts from my last school to curb bullying aside. You mean they put up a poster that says "Tell a teacher"? They were like, bullying is mean, and if you bully, you're a very mean person. Waggles my finger. They all seemed like a bunch of ineffectual, uncaring old farts. Like my dad, even before giving fully up. Like my dad, even before giving up on me officially. I doubt he knew more than my name. Wow! Hell, maybe even forgotten that. Didn't think he had any input on it. But Mr. Ferris, maybe he's setting me finals in. Metro Rider to Metro Rider. You mean Common Rider to Common Rider. But it sure seems like he cares a hell of a lot more than anyone else. It sucks that he's basically relegated to Todd wrangling the fuck-ups, though. Could be a good teacher himself. I don't think he would appreciate the low-down administration. Yeah, I'll be sure to, Mr. Ferris. After such a hopeful conversation, it springs to mind that today might not suck so much after all. How nice of you, Edward. You found someone that can peer you up. That's what a confidant does to a man. I'm 1.5 laps to 4. I'm 1.5 laps out of 4 into the mile run that with Solly flaying my eardrums with his whistle before I'm cursing my own bloodline for even thinking that. What? Oh, because we're doing a rapid shift of camera. Gotcha. I got distracted, so my brain didn't register it. I'm barely hanging on by a. You don't need to add that to your life. Already ready to spew my whopping 3 mini donuts on. They were mini donuts. Come on. Fat man shuffling at a pace barely on par with walking speed. Damien is acting as moral support in the most unproductive way possible. I'd like to think his dad is John Jonah Jameson or Omni-Man. You know, that square with one awesome mustache. It's why he trusts Ferris so much. He knows that a man with a mustache can at most not care about him. Come on, bro. I gotta do it 3 more times, and you did it.
Why? You talking to me.
He spits the venom in the question, either because of his lack of social grace or by my wheezing enunciation. Oh, he misses the venom. Would be no fun in the front of the pack. Me isn't much for conversation. I shoot him a wordless glare as I wipe more sweat from my brow. Conversation is more than words, amen. It's vibes, and you got good ones. Anon does not have good vibes. Anon does not have good vibes. Holy shit. Good enough. Good enough. That's probably the first time anyone's complimented me. How do I carry myself? Wait, how I carry myself? How it feels to be around me? Whatever that weird, hippie, juju metric Damien is using. Anon, you should know what a vibe is. Anon has vibes. I don't know if they're good ones, though. Anon has vibes! Open brackets, undefined, close brackets. We must bring them to a mystic to have them identified. You gotta be more confident in yourself, man. I love how, I mean, the muttering doesn't make sense if he's already running and sputtering everything out. Like, how do you mutter like this? He's already gasping for air up here. Is he reading my vibes? He waggles his finger with a beaming smirk. Ear-piercing whistle almost forces me off track as it rips through the air. Private Moose! Private Payne! Pick it up, lady. The time for talking about boys is later. Coach, I'm not gay. I know Anon is, but I'm not. I like how he's like, we're not! No.
Sorry, Anon, you'll never recover from this, social-politically speaking. You might as well become friends with the nerds now. And he retreats to the nerd table. Forever resigned. I also have vibes under my bed. Ah, sizzle fritz. Let me just close the Discord for the time being. Got it, Coach Solly. Damien flashes a thumbs up before planting his hands on my back and kicking it into overdrive. He probably thinks he's helping, and while he technically forces me to complete the mile in my personal best, on thought of the shape I'm in, it also feels like I don't have much of a choice, and stopping would be akin to bailing out of a car on a highway. My vision dilates into pinpricks more than once, and at least once completely eclipses into blindness. My surroundings drowned out by my erratic heartbeat, only to have the tremorous pounding of my feet on the track signifying I'm still alive. Unless, of course, I've died and transitioned straight into my worst hell. No breaks in hell, of course. So the moment I feel Damien's hands remove from my back, I know I'm still among the living. Whatever momentum even transferring into me die too. I do my best to angle my fall onto the astroturf, even as my eyes struggle to recover. Don't think I make it, though. I never feel the telltale flaying of my shins against after a brief slide across the track turf. I think I deserve a tiny nap. I'm going to take a little nap. God, I love itty bitty Palpatine. He's great. I will now read you my poem, Lord Vader. Jedi. Wait, hold on. Sith are red, and Jedi are blue. In my ultimate hour, unlimited power. Don't you think it is a lovely poem, Vader? And then he puts it on the broadcasting system. And everyone just hears it belted loud and proud. It's like Vogon poetry. Once you heard it, you'll never wake up again. Got a little spot on my glasses. No! To clean them anyway. Where were we? It was record time, right? Clash should still be in session. Anon! Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Anon? My eyes shoot open to find a pink Dilo inches from my face. Frills full of spasm. Now, just bury me here, Damien. Oh, come on, man. If you're gonna keel over it, you gotta have cooler words than that. Like? Well, I don't know. Something epic. Besides, if you have enough time to say something that weak, you're not ready to die. He reaches out a hand to help me up. Reluctant as I am to keep going, I accept it regardless. I'm on my feet in less than a second, Damien practically dislocating my shoulder and then catching my limp body with his other hand. He dusts me off once I've regained a wide enough stance to hold myself up. I hate the yawning! Fuck! Damn! God damn! Coach Solly walks up beside us as the final dregs finish their lap. You're one of the dregs, man. Not bad for a second deployment, Private Monkey Boy. At least it's just him using that. How do you feel? Does it look in his eye? Gaze? The way his jaw is set, really. It hurts like hell. And what does that mean? It means I tried, and if effort is proportional to pain, a lot. It's better than being dead, right? I'm going back to the lobby screen, Damien. Get that picture out for me. He frowns for a minute. I would say just leave the weakness leaving the body. Why, I didn't know you had some wisdom, Private. We'll just make an E2 out of you yet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I actually know what that means. I mean, I think him becoming an actual private is a bit of a stretch. But we can dream. We can dream. What are you talking about? You're the one who doesn't bother to listen before letting out a full lung burst into his whistle. Immediately double over, covering both ears. Why am I yawning so much? Oh, you maggots! Hit the showers! There's the pain. Bleeding out of your ears. You too! To the shower. To the lockers. You got it, Solly. Damien just tanked that sonic pierce. Is there something wrong with Saurian ears? No, wait, what kind of weird-ass primate biology does Coach Ollie have? He can still hear after doing that day in there. Either way, hearing permanently diminished, I head to the lockers for a change. Then onward into my unknown schedule. Damien catches me before I can slink off into the next period. Of course. Find me at lunch, and I'll introduce you to my crew! It's like 2 people, Damien. It's like 2 people. And you. I just purse my lips non-committally. That seems sufficient for the update. I just thought stories of unnaturally outgoing people adopting introverts was a whim, was some sort of cringy Tumblr fantasy. But sure enough, the guy seemed to rope me to his little gang. Maybe enough avoidance outside of P able to dissuade it from trying. The second period, though, it's AP art design with Mr. Yatakan. So the second-level studio classroom, and the halls of which are open balcony style to get a good look out across the campus. Well, it's definitely a step up from Rock Bottom's architectural philosophy. A couple of dozen rusty bungalows, and the least drunk teachers able to be scrounged up. Damn. He can get to E4 easily and he'll be stuck there forever? Why so mean? Why so mean? Come on, man. Be nice. Just please be nice. He's trying him's best. Which is not at all, but he's trying, okay? It's him's best! Anyway, where was I? Entering the classroom, every seat is filled up. Well, just about. Cut! Stop yawning! The only choice is an empty seat right up front. Great. I saddle up to the left of my new seatmate, paying them no mind. I'm gonna sneeze, though. But I mute myself. The teacher is a middle-aged pterodactyl. He's like 30. Dressed to the nines in a full suit and hair tied into a ponytail. He looks out of it, sort of glazed look in his eye, lethargically looking at everyone in the room. His pale scales look clammy too, a waxen sheen glinting on his face. Hushed rumors emanating from behind make it sound like he was out yesterday too. Guess I won't be totally lost in that case. The tardy bell... I honestly am starting to hate the term tardy bell. Just like using the term tardy to refer to someone that's late. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like the word. Maybe I just don't like saying it, you know? It's like, it doesn't roll off my tongue all that deliciously. I think it's because it's too close to a swear, you know? Like, Anna making the trigger joke is cute once, right? And this feels like it's a constant... It feels like someone is laughing and having a jokey time. But I know it's actually used like that. That makes it so weird. The tardy bell rings, and immediately afterwards, the previously static Taro slams both fists onto his desk. The room falls dead silent, and all eyes are on him now. He doesn't seem angry, though. In fact, he bears a smile that shows more in his eyes than in his mouth. A warm, genuine contentment. The seal now broken on whatever hidden reserves kept this guy moving. He draws a feather quill he draws a feather quill in a grand gesture before proclaiming, "All right, then. Good morning, class." And under the gesture, he draws some sort of stick-held metal plate topped with powder and whoosh. The device bursts into blinding light, searing the class's retinue, and she had grown in surprise. I, for one, slammed my head full force into the desk and groaned. The end of this year will undoubtedly mark the end of one of my senses. Wildcard bears that it will somehow be my taste rather than a burst eardrum or burned retina. And welcome to AP Art Design. He holds the now inert stick at an angle. This is a flag. Saw it at an antique store yesterday. Thought it'd be a good introduction. Not important. Worthless, actually. Also has nothing to do with this class. This is for photography. They're used for photography. You bingus. He quickly bends the object, shattering it. Excuse my absence yesterday, but I have matters to take care of elsewhere. My name is Mr. Yatakan. So I've been watching someone else play Wani Gemu, and they say Yatakan a different way, and I'm like, man, I've been deceived by the Japanese. He's already scrawled his name up. He's already scrawled. Why can't he scrawl his name on? Why does it have to be scrawled in? His name upon the whiteboard in a fancy script. And I shall be your guide as we explore the vast expanse of the creative world. Let's not dilly-dally, shall we? The catatonic statue, present only a minute ago, is no more. Now, Mr. Otacon is a man possessed. This first week we'll be going in-depth into the history and the fundamentals of art. The history of and the fundamentals of art. Why did you include of twice? Is that relevant? Perhaps a little tribe high fire as well, just to get the creative juices flowing. A murmur ripples through the class at that, with a hot huff of breath coming from my table mate in particular. For now, I would like you all to open your book on page 3. Book? I didn't get any fucking book. My classmates all reveal novel-sized text. Let's just cut it here for now. I'm gonna go splash some water in my face to wake up a little bit, because, man, I need to wake the fuck up. Maybe give myself a caffeine injection. Snort some M&Ms or something, I don't know. Be back in a minute.
that wasn't a great idea. Four. Four. There. Let's go. Let's put the pedal to the metal. My class rates reveal novel-sized text hidden away in their packs. Okay, cool it, Anon. You missed out on yesterday, clearly. The question is whether or not you can play it off. Best case, you can skate by without notice and ask to collect them after class. Worst case, that you get dragged out in front of everyone dressed down for not having book or speaking up about it. Now then, class, we'll start with... I raise my hand as low as possible, hoping to play it off as if he missed my question. But his eyes land on me and he cuts himself short with a pointed finger calling me. I don't have a book, sir. Didn't have a... How? The substitute passed them out. Passed all of them out. Yes, no. Dawning realization plays out on his face. Word on the streets, that dumb new kid got concussed so hard they were sent home with the commendations of Mr. Solly himself. The initial laughs about me get laid out, The initial laughs at me getting laid up all die at the mention of Coach Solly's respect. I was able to walk away myself if that saves face. Very little. Well, perhaps a minuscule amount. You must be Mr. Moose then. Given the circumstances, it can be excused. For now, you have to share with one of your classmates. After class, I'll write a note that can be given to the librarian for your needed course text. Thank you, sir. I tack on the honorific clumsily. It's kind of implied by how you wrote the text, man. I sigh, rubbing at my neck. I'm really gonna be known as the guy who got murked. Isn't that with a C? Isn't murked with a C? Because it's after a mercenary? Yeah, to be killed, derived from mercenary. Or is this about that Mercer guy? Oh, apparently with a K is to be straight up killed. I thought it was with a C. When you wreck a scrub in 1v1, well, you know what? I guess you got options. Life is like a basket of potatoes. Each potato's got its own flavor. I'm really gonna be known as the guy who got murked by a rubber ball day 1 of senior year. That's my legacy. Holy shit, the situation's already a hair's breadth from rock bottom's level. Whatever. The laughter isn't pointed completely at me. It's already over. I glance over at my table mate's shed. They seem very familiar. A green-scaled baryonyx with short hair draped in a purple hoodie. Why is her chair so big? Is she in a wheelchair? Wait. My eyes gravitate to the wheel closest to me. I mentally size up there with, dragging my once again pulsing foot closer to it as I envision it. I even push up against it with my toe, estimating the crushing weight. This is the bitch that ran me over! Baryonyx clears her throat coarsely and smacks the desk, forcing my eyes up to hers. I wasn't looking at your ass, I was inspecting the size of those gorgeous wheels. Is that like looking at your ass or worse? She has this piercing silver gaze with all the indifference of the far-off moon. How did that song in Mulan go again? The immeasurable weight of late nights hanging as bags beneath those cold reptilian spheres. Even though, over the course of the story, we don't really get the impression that she's like an insomniac or anything. Like, we never really get super late nights with Olivia in a way that feels like that part of her character design really shines or anything. She's not even seeing me. I've seen hatred before, disgust, sure, even pity. But this is different. I don't know an entity to her. An icy inferiority snakes its way into my guts. Why is she looking at me like that? Must be matching her beat for beat, though, because Yadakan is all too quick to rush to our table. Whoa, 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 you two! Olivia. Oh, wait. He places a hand on her shoulder, and his other creates a forceless wall just before me. Olivia, please share me, if only for today. I'll see to a person that gets resolved for the class. Would you help me out here? He just wanders to defuse the situation I found myself in. Her eyes soften to look at him, before throwing her head back in a silent groan. Don't you mean a groan? I untense my shoulders and sit back further into my seat, exhaling. Ah. Okay, does he inhale? Is Anon just permanently out of breath now? Refill your breath meter, Anon! Write about the inhale! Write about how you're returning to normal breathing habits. No, okay, let's turn on a different song because I'm getting a little sidetracked by this. Let's turn on Class Team. But that's a little sassy, isn't it? No. Whatever, it'll work. Gets bitten. Oh no. I'm dead. Thanks. I'm eating. Sorry. She nods once and nudges the book a few cent. Why does he say centimeters? Inko, you're... sorry, Anon. Anon, you're an American, right? You're also an asshole. You're also a 4chaner. You do not say centimeters, ever! This is the author fucking up. Anon is not the man to say centimeters. Even I don't say centimeters in situations like this because inches feels more organic for the language. With a quickly contracted, then retracted claw. What do you mean? Wait, contracted? I thought that means that that's also like retracting. Decrease in size. My man, these aren't opposites of each other. You mean an extended, then retracted claw. The face is just indignant now, causing an icy grip in my stomach to subside. Thanks. Sorry for... Yes, I'm sure it's all quite a bum. I'm sure this is but a bump in a fruitful peership. The Otacon rushes on, beginning his dictation of the text. The Baryonyx's expression shows a disinterest as she looks between the book and a note page. I crane my neck, unwilling to scooch closer to the toothy maw. Excuse me, is Matt Mercer in the room with us right now? That just looked at me with such vitriol. Great, just the Otacon, but I doubt I can unfuck this. It's just that look. It's familiar, but not in the way I can describe. Glossing over at that, Iotacon's teaching style is as grand and ostentatious as a Shakespearean play. He's striding back and forth as he speaks, not a single note in sight. While it isn't verbatim, he's essentially recounting everything with such grand importance that it makes it hard to focus on the essential info. So this class is a bust when it comes to knowledge retention. Propping my head atop one of my hands, I crane my eyeballs at the absolute limit towards the Baryonyx girl. The ferocity with which she's been scrawling out notes is deafening. Still as interested as I am, I'm not trying to draw her ire by getting up in her business. Seriously, though, it looks like she's sketching away with a feather-tip quill, alternating between fast bursts and methodical, lazy swoops. I keep my head trained forward as long as I can. What is she doing? Certainly, this isn't follow along to his drivel. Yetkin just got to the invention of horsehair brushes, and in spite of the theatrics, it's enough to put a crackhead to sleep. You would say burgers per twink over vile European measurements. What the hell is burgers per twink? I just learned something. Hold up. Hold up, I'm looking for something. Someone just told me source properties. have to figure that out later. About 4.20 centimeters. 420, praise it. Alright, curiosity peaked. Hey, I think that's the right one even. Play it cool. Just go for the classic abdomen twisting stretch and use the moment to take a quick peek. Holy shit! It's the right peak twice. Are we gonna get the right peak for high things now too? Bracing both hands on the back of the chair, I begin my excruciatingly slow stretch. For the last 2 days I've had, it actually feels like I'm wringing broken glass out of a tattered towel, and each vertebrae pops sequentially upwards in an annihilation of pressure so great, I almost forgot why I even did this. Oh yeah, write on notes. Angling my head down as I slowly unfurl my... a stretch. I thought it said sketch for some reason. I almost can't believe what I'm seeing. She's furiously sketching away, using her index claw as a pen nib, and drawing from a nearby divot in the desk, filled with rich black ink. Ever so often she'll retract the claw, wipe a finger down with a rainbow-stained rag, and then begin anew, to add another facet of a drawing. Excuse me, Olivia? You're not hanging out with, certain acronym people, are we? With your rainbow rag? Wave it around in her face. Its brilliant black and white rendering of a figure. Lines of varying depth form a rough outline of them, a slight slouch. Scratchy shading lines giving an unreal depth, and oh, I see. She's dabbing. Oh, shit! Dab! Quick, dirty heaps of ink onto her claws, onto sections. Wait, what? I see. She's dabbing quick and dirty heaps of ink from her claw onto sections of per black. Of per what? Before spreading it in a flurry to fill the majority of the space, cleaning up the blank edges afterwards. Holy shit. It escapes from my mouth before I can even process the drawing's full scope. Luckily, Yadakan seems so engrossed in his riveting exposition upon the advent of canvas boards. How fast is he going? Yadakan, slow down. You're gonna outpace reality. Those silver eyes once again grace me, but they flash vulnerability. Ah! I can't see! Before returning to their suspicious glare. You know, I said it before, but if I'm complaining about, like, big structural issues with your themes and stuff, usually that means, like, your actual writing is pretty solid. And so far, there's some oddities left and right, but overall, you know. Like, Anon should not use metric, ever. Good. Wait. Oh, right. Oh, wait, this is Anon. Yeah, right, yeah. So I'm creeping on the drawing, sorry. Her gaze doesn't avert, and she doesn't move to hide the piece. Although she offered a more plain view. Could I see it? Aurora Borealis! I'm sorry, I don't watch The Simpsons. How do you know it's from The Simpsons? She rolls her eyes, about to hide the page away forever with a movement of her wrist. No, wait. I just never seen anything so impressive before. Listen, I gotta, hold up. Hold up. I have a massive issue with this entire segment, and I was going to mention this earlier, but Anon is talking to a girl, right? He doesn't even mentally go, oh, she's not really a girl or anything. Or go like, oh, she's an asshole, I don't give a shit. Anon is talking to a fucking girl. Remember that at the beginning of Snoot Game, right? He straight up says, like, femoid. Practically, actually, let's look up the first script, because, hold up. Because the first time he sees Naomi, right? Like, the whole Naomi thing sends off his alarms. Where is it? 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 Get Snoot Games, wiki tips, move transition. Documentation on move transition. Oh, fuck, I'm going to read that. Can I even access that? Oh, shit. It's documentation. Hold up. Okay, this happens after she leaves. I forgot about that. Then the alarm goes off, right? Oh, here we go. Naomi grabs my hand and ah! Female making contact, DEFCON 1. He's talking to Olivia and, like, straight up asking her for something, and he's like, okay, this is fine, I guess. I don't at all get it. Like, Anon, my man, my homeboy Slice. What happened to you that you can A, talk to a woman, B, ask for her art, and C, you're not freaking out over it? Like, this is so not Anon. It's so insistent on keeping the scene the same. So terrified of deviation. Despite the fact that this is where Inko and Anon deviate, and it doesn't. That's why I get pissed off. It's like, they're different characters, but they're doing the same thing that is driven by the original character. What are you doing? Also, Anon isn't that artistic. He doesn't give that much of a shit about art. He's an asshole. So why... Like, there's so much wrong with this, when you really get down to it. That's just what happens when you lie to me about how, you're gonna stick to the source material. I've never seen anything that impressive before. I get if you don't want, well, me to see it. But it seems like a shame not to show it off. Another silent huff and eye roll, but she tosses the page to my side of the desk. I'm careful to avoid touching any of it, undoubtedly still being wet. Ugh, there's so much on this. Did you cum on this? It's like a cum rag. It's so wet. That's because you're still sweating from PE. Oh. And then he notices this cloud of vapor hanging around him. A literal, visible cloud of vapor. Another... Shame not to show it off. Okay. I hold it at an angle from the table, really absorbing it all. How does Iyada-kan not tell you to... I'm staying close to the source material, like Netflix. Someone told me, or at least I saw a video, let's put it like that, that the reason Japan tends to make stuff more close to the source material when it comes to manga and anime is because they're the ones who are watching. Whereas in America, the idea is we need the general audience. And all I can say is, you know what? If someone ever makes an adaptation of anything I've ever written, if you go the American way, go fuck yourself. Goddamn. Just elevate my art. That's all you gotta do, buddy. If my art, if my work attracts a general audience, I have failed as an artist. That's how I see it. I don't want to be that guy. I want at least someone to walk into the theater, hate my guts when he leaves. Because that's how you know that the people who loved it truly loved it. Because it was personal and special, and if it's a matter of taste, then someone has to hate it. That, or you're God, and you're cheating like a dirty bastard. Everything I saw looks even more impressive head-on. Yeah, the angle matters. The sketch, even if incomplete, seems to be of me. How could you know, Anon? You literally look like nobody. That's the whole point. You're called Anon because you're anonymous. The reason Inko could identify himself is because he wears glasses. He has that. You have nothing! Well, a bald, featureless human in a button-up. Her makeshift beta pool... What does beta pools mean? Still glisten. And the scratching emanating... Does he mean like eyes? What are beta pools? This doesn't help me. I think I'm mixing up two words, because I know beta is like used for men. So it could be like his eyeballs. And the scratches emanating towards the word section give it a shape and dimension. There are hints of greater facial expression, but clearly the head was left unfinished, because there's nothing to put there. The eyes in particular have an oddly hollow look to them that leaves me to guessing at the intended final result. As much as I shat on this section, right, I do love that she doesn't fill in the face, because Anon does not have a face to begin with. Inko is kind of more of a character. Anon is just a stand-in, so keeping him blank makes more sense. Also, I don't think Anon ever shows... No, he does. He does. There are angry faces for him, right? I don't know. But we're corporate people. We must maximize profits. You know, because woke. It's the woke people who are the capitalists. Somehow. It's like these people don't seem to understand, right? Maybe it's because they want to make the most money, and they think that the best way to make the most money is to make something that doesn't make everyone shit themselves by being a big asshole, you know? Like, if you're part of the asshole club, no one's going to make a movie for you for the general audience because no one wants to watch a bunch of assholes jerking themselves off on the screen. Also, we've had movies about being kind and giving people hugs and kisses for fucking years. I hate it. I don't care. I don't go to theaters for a fucking reason, right? I just don't care. If I want to sit down, right? If I want to sit down and waste hours of my life, I will watch the gorgeous How the Beverly Hillbillies Changed Everything. It is 42 hours of absolute cinema. I love that. And I finally get to finish it. It's back. Oh, brings a tear to my eye. In incel lore, beta orbiters refer to men who are friends with women. How gross. How disgusting. How could you be friends with a woman? With a femoid? The thought alone just makes me violently jerk, as if I'm hit with a defibrillator right to the chest. See, I know that you guys don't get this, right? But if you are a man and you're friends with a woman, you are inherently either cheating, you're helping her cheat on her future husband, or you're being cheated on your future wife. You can't be friends with women. It just doesn't work like that. Anyway, enough of Anon having weird descriptions of things. Beta pools. Listen, it just sounds like you're trying to beta test your game, and this is the pool of participants. Dumbass. Should have held out until she put it away of her own accord. Still, this is anything beyond I could... You don't even do art, Anon. What are you talking about? And she popped it on, like, what, 15 minutes at that? This vibe of horror about it. Something unsettling, but altogether unflattering with how she depicted me. I got it. Oh, it looks like a Jinchi Ichio, Pat. Ichio? Wait a minute, what the fuck is he doing on itch.io? I mumble. I feel her gaze shift to me. Looking back at her for a moment, that's a new look. What? That's a bad sentence. Rewrite that one. Looking back at her for a moment, and that's a new look? Like, put in an ellipses or something that indicates that your train of thought's getting smacked around. She has gone from the most peculiar pucker on her maw and implied... What? She has the most peculiar pucker on her maw and an implied question in her widened eyes. But it's gone in a flash. Back to indifference. And you just, like, made this? And no dull sneer curtails that phrase. I mean, from start to finish. Mind to page. That's, I search my vocabulary and unfortunately find only dino slurs and internet lingo way too esoteric to fly in this situation. Wild. I love how he went for wild. I forgot how dumb he sounds compared to his normal lingo. Your lexicon, my friend, has completely collapsed. Like writing soul onto paper. Jesus Christ, Anna, please stop. Here is small from her, but her face is unreadable as I look back to her. Could I get a pic of this? I start reaching for my pockets as I ask, stopping and remember that my broadcast still is a Volcano S1. Huh, that's actually a pretty cool name for a phone. That's fire. I might as well put it through a mean deep fryer while I'm at it. Never mind, it won't do it any justice. I slowly swing the drawing back to her, her eyes soaking up as much of the memory as I can. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So, you do know that the way the sentence is structured implies that she's soaking up as much of the memory? Like, I get the point is that Annel's trying to remember as much of it as he can, but this sentence just sucks ass because of it. Because I'm expecting her to be used here. I can't help but frown. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in Annel, you don't talk like this. You're a person who thinks everyone's a fucking poser. What's happening to you, man? This is what happens when men become friends with women. They stop identifying posers. They become one. Ugh! Ugh! It's so disgusting, Annel. Ugh! What happened to you? And made by someone that hates me implicitly. Well, enough to drive over your feet. But it's disappointing to know it'll be trapped in this moment forever. Jesus Christ, Annel. Go get a creative writing course. Holy shit, someone I know made a mod. Something about the term beta orbiters cracks me up. It feels like a missile system, you know? Sir, we must activate the beta orbiters to stop the invasion. It's a funny word, okay? I'm having fun with it. The page lingers before, and I expect it to be greedily snatched away from the covetous skinny that was ogling it. Yet she doesn't. She regards it with disinterest, before turning the same look to me. You can keep it. I don't know how to respond. Oh yes, I do. DEFCON for tsundere femoid! Listen, Anon, you accepted something from her, you're giving it back, you talked to her, you already revoked your femoid privileges.
Drew me, it is letting me keep it. Repeat tsundere femoid!
I freeze up at a sudden realization. What's super autism giving me safe before is gone. Oh, because you're a big fat loser. Holy shit, a girl touched this. Oh, you're not getting cooties. God damn it, Anon. Everyone knows that they invented anti-cootie special nanobots, and they're in the air. You're safe, Anon. You never have to worry about cooties again. And it's of me, maybe, and it's mine. Listen, Anon, there are better ways to get your hands on a comrade. Well, thanks. That's really, really cool. Yeah, wow. I shakily place it back onto the desk, careful that the ink doesn't seep through it into the table below. How wet is this paper? What? How soaked is this sheet that there's still wet ink on it? She merely mumbles back, oh, it's nothing. Oh, wow. Holy shit, it's 2 speakers in 1 line? Holy crap, I'm losing my mind. It's like someone knows how writing can work if you're a little sassy boy about it. Hold on, I'm gonna take a little snack. I need a little boost. My room is so warm now. That chocolate is going soft. That's great. That's fucking great. I might soon have to get out the fan. Alright, let's keep going. Now anyone not utterly cowering at the presence of the fairer sex. Is she fairer? They're covered in cooties, Anon. Would have some pretty choice words to counter that sentiment. But I have a yellow streak from nape to ass crack. What? I couldn't respond coherently if I tried. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Oh no, I hate it when things go soft! No. So passing the rest of class in quivering silence it is. Luckily, the remainder of the period passes in the blink of an eye. How did Iadicon give you shit for this? I guess, again, Iadicon is kind of a creep when you get down to it, because he really is just pushing these 2 characters together. We'll get to that later. I legitimately have objections to how he handles this later. Or how Anon handles it, because Anon really is not... He talks like he's worse. He talks like he's a worse Spurg than normal. But he doesn't act like it, and it really bothers me. It's like they want the aesthetics, the appearance, without the commitment. And Caveman has always kind of taken it with a grain of salt, like, hey, don't fucking treat this shit like it's cool, you know? That's also bothering me about Wani Gemu, Inko, is that he seems to legitimately glorify his own self-existence, and it's so depressing. Like, I want Wani Gemu and Inko to go kill himself, to just jump off a cliff and never wake up again. I don't want to ship him with anyone. I want him to get ending 1 and die. Just fuck that guy. Jesus. Why would I want to help him? The story makes no effort to make him likable in any way. It's like, thanks, game. But isn't this supposed to be a dating game where I want him to kiss? I don't want any of that. At most, I want him to become a better person and hug the people around him and maybe find someone he can actually work with. Ugh. We'll get to that eventually, perhaps. Luckily, the remainder of the period passes in the blink of an eye. When the bell rings, the baryonic started hot-wheeling it out of class. Hot-wheeling. Hot. Well, actually, it should be hot-wheeling. Fine by me. I plan both palms face down and exhale a shaky breath. Alright, okay. I'm cool. Well, not cool, but I'm okay. It's just a sketch anyway. Artsy type's always self-deprecating, right? Maybe it isn't the best work. I take another up-close look at my doppelganger. Holy fuck, I do want to see her best work. Iadicon swaggers up to my desk of the now empty classroom, using an index finger to swivel the page around for a better view. Ah, the drive and talent of youth. They begin spending something into a sticky note. I know a piece every class, and often multiple. Of course, Olivia knows all my lectures by heart. What class do you teach? Why does she keep showing up? I certainly hope you can confidently pass a test on what was covered today, Anna. Well, I'm supposing it's multiple choice? I expect him to be a little more miffed, but is that same content smile emanating from his eyes that it is the start of period. Well, nothing a little study and can't bolster. I can't say my lessons are such a coveted prize. What does that mean? As opposed to what, the drawing? I mean, you've heard his class, Anna. He's not good at this. We're not going fast, are we? I love to get to make gross sounds when the mic's off. Great. It's like I'm being a little scoundrel. In any case, take this to the librarian along with your course schedule to get your books. Run along now.
I nod to Mr. Yataka, carefully taking up the sketch.
He still isn't How wet is this paper? It's been minutes!
I feel like such a dork walking through the halls with like a loose-leaf sketch, and yet here I am walking with it. A quick stop by the library nets me my books and a library card. Damn, am I ever starving. Hunger doesn't discriminate with the day I had. A handful of stale snack donuts is not a winner's make. Of course, any hopes of a peaceful or easy lunch are dashed the moment I step into the thronging brawl that engulfs the entire cafeteria. It's like a silent mosh pit. Silent as in no music, the haymakers and elbows being thrown at their own horrific cacophony. I look at the security posted around the room. What? Just containment at this point? Is this expected? What kind of ghetto trash could possibly breed inside an art school? Good question. Take another break. Just take a quick break. I need to refocus my chakras if I want to win this match, as they say. Great, how am I supposed to get lunch now? Damien puts his hand on his shoulder from behind. Your feeling of helplessness is your best friend. What? Anyway, for those who are watching the recording, Anon is trying to get some goddamn lunch after he overcame his weird mannerisms to talk to a girl! He's covered in cooties! We have lost Anon to the cause. Like that Kids Next Door episode where they turned boys into girls. It's a really weird episode. Teen skanks roll! Oh my god, shit, did that guy just knife someone? The term is shank. There's no way in hell I'm getting within shanking distance. There you go. Skin row seems like a safer bet than this carnage than the carnage in that brawl NATO. I do my best to skirt along the edge of the horde. That's the wrong horde. You're looking for HORDE. Clumsily climbing over the shunned cafeteria seating. Searching for some sort of opening to reach that sweet, sweet lunch line. I'm still eyeing the melee for the safest in before my planning is cut off. Yo, 8-man, over here! Looking over, I see that I've not only completely circumvented the crowd at the opposite end of the room, but I find myself next to Damien's table. Fuck! There goes my planned avoidance. What's wrong, bro? Damien asks, pulling a piece of stringy mystery meat between his teeth and fork. It's just, checking the clock. There's no way I'm getting lunch now. Guess I'm not eating today. Oh man, really? That sucks! Right, Olivia? Damien turns his attention to his lunchmate, and I'm caught off guard by the glaring green menace. Call her a goblin already. She can't wait to start gobbling you up because you've died from cooties disease. I can't hear over the rumble behind us, but she seems to grunt in response, which Damien raucously laughs at. Oh, no big deal. And, we'll share with you. guttural growl escapes Olivia's jaws as he corrects himself. I'll share with you. Oh, because Anon's too fucking poor to get his own lunch. How could we forget? He already starts sawing into a piece of his lunch and places it onto a napkin. But other than that, man, what's with the drawing? Well, shit. Been carrying Olivia's sketch out in the open this whole time. Her eyes narrow at the offending sheet as Damien spies it inquisitively. It's nothing. I moved to place it into my backpack as a sip beside Damien. The sissification CNN special was a moment. It sure was! Man. And people bitch about that shit on TV now. It's been a long part of history. Let us not pretend that it is not the roots of the world to do something that's slightly silly because it's just fucking hilarious. Should we deny ourselves the right to YOLO our lives away? For what? Safety? Security? Was it not Benjamin Franklin who said, I don't put a lock on my door because if I get robbed, it'll be hella funny? Wise man, that Benjamin. Really? Because it looks sick. You shouldn't put yourself down like that. He tilts his head at a harsh vertical to catch even the slightest glimpse of the inky rendering. I catch Olivia's eyes as I finish hiding it. There's a level of embarrassment on her face. I'll tell the real artist you thought so. Don't worry, I get it. I've had girls more vehemently deny involvement with you. Art's clearly a sore spot for some odd reason. Her eyes break away as her scales flash when I say that, though. She must really not want Damien to know it's hers. Whatever. Wish granted. So, you're not... Oh, wait. Who says what? Who's talking? Also, I noticed that this really likes to start with the conversation instead of having any sort of descriptive text before the lines. Like, white lines, new lines are not part of quotes. You can integrate quotes into longer sentences and you can put, Okay. So you're not like an art guy? No, not really. Yeah. What kind of art could a spaz like Damien do? Splatter art? Freakish public displays under the guise of social commentary, maybe? I think Damien, and I mean this seriously, I think Damien would be a maker. I think he would make, like, background sets and props. I think he'd be good at it. It seems like something he could do that he would have some fun with. It's always something different. He gets to experiment with all kinds of big fun toys, I think he'd be a maker, like Adam Savage and the like, Nah. He finishes heaping my portion of soylent pink before me. I'm not really into art. Really? Seemed pretty artistic to me. Olivia's gaze suddenly shoots at me in my periphery. Shit, did you catch that? I'm not trying to be rude to Damien. I mean, the guy's just a lot. It's just banter. Okay, gonna have to be careful with anything too cheeky around her. Thanks, homie. That's like one of the nicest things someone has ever told me before. He beams. But, beams what? But, oh man, you haven't even met Olivia yet. I love how this is the nicest thing anyone said to him, is that you seem pretty artistic. What is a man but a miserable pile of cooties waiting to happen? God damn it. But what happens to those secrets if you turn a man into a girl? Is that the real reason people are against that stuff? Is because then it becomes public knowledge and you kind of have to go, Guess we're gonna have to make today's meeting about the secrets that have spilled out of this miserable pile. No one's got time for that. We have a minimum viable product this Friday. God damn. No. We met. Sort of. I know her name at least. I'm Anon. What? Why would you say your name like that? Oh, didn't you tell her? I guess he never told her. I could say many nice things to Damien, things that would get me back from high school grounds. God damn it, please. He is a soft boy, okay? He's not quite the Pillsbury Doughboy that our good friend Inko is, but... Come on, man. Bless his heart. He needs it when people like you are around. Damn. My dinner with Andre, tell me more. Trenchant insight. Bon mot. Oh, I'm losing my shit. Moving on.
Anyway, I have enough social tact to know this isn't a handshake type of meeting, but a blank stare does make me squirm. Is she going to say something, or
Are you the guy that got knocked out in first period yesterday?
I throw my hands up? Okay, why is that the reputation that precedes me? How does everyone know? I get a from Olivia.
I've been telling him, man. A squishy lumen like you survived me. It's badass.
So telling everyone how I got bodied is badass. Not just bodied, mind you. I got annihilated, creamed, pummeled, one shot. Okay, Anon doesn't say that stuff out loud ever. He doesn't. Self-deprecation, sure, but he doesn't do hammy bits like this too much. Unless he's really pissed off, I guess. Olivia actually trolls to give me a pretty big boost of confidence. No, Anon, that's your alarms going off and the adrenaline running free.
Yeah, you get it, my man. My best friend bounced back like a champ.
God, he's so sickeningly oblivious. It's because he closed the gates of oblivion.
Olivia, you think he's cool now, right?
She masters? Looking me up and down.
No.
Ouch. I mean, fair, but ouch.
Come on, man. Everyone has a story like yours, but at least you're a cool guy afterwards.
Definitely not a cool guy by anyone other than his metric.
One time I got my frill stuck in the bathroom door. No one's calling me cool after that.
I place a hand up. Damien, man, that's gross. Two situations are radically different.
You mean racially different?
If you're making the racial segregation joke right here and now, I'm quitting this job. You have to find a different actor for Anon.
But the memes, Anon.
Don't make the joke.
Racial
So I'm out of here. You have to record the rest of this series without me. See you later. Olivia leans forward with a smirk.
Took him an hour to get him out.
How did that even happen? How are you stuck for an hour? I can try better. Compliment. Here we go. Deep breath. Hello, this is Sarah Khan reporting in from St. Hammond's Art School. Where the... No! What are you doing? Dear God, I do not need to hear about dino wink bits, getting stuck in places to feel better about almost being concussed. I splay my hand out over my face, shake my head. Anyhow, you do art, right, Olivia? Who has left Olivia? She squints at me murderously. Has anyone got Ryan Gosling's number?
Oh yeah, man, she's like crazy good, and even won awards.
She won one, as far as we know.
Liz does too. She's part of the gang, but she's doing some dumb school stuff right now.
Well, I guess I'll meet her later. That makes two. Oh, Jesus Christ, Damien. Are you trying to kill me with cooties?
Now I'm trying to kill you with kindness. That's different.
An award, though.
Yep. She won this big yearly art thing in freshman year.
Olivia slouches even deeper into her chair. She as he hypes her up.
Speaking of which, you gonna try and submit anything in on?
Nah, that'd probably be just too embarrassing. I may as well have Parkinson's when it comes to art. What about you, Olivia? I love that in Punch Drunk Gator they really made it out like you can't swear or say mean things around these guys, and Anon's just fucking throwing Parkinson's out there. Putting that aside, so what are we doing then? How are we... Is Olivia gonna enter anyway? Because it's way weirder when Anon's like, I didn't enter anything, compared to, I changed your entry. There's a big difference there. Which I guess is where the deviation should happen. It's just really weird that things are so on track for how different they should be.
Can't.
Because? She rolls her eyes.
You can't submit again if you already won.
I should have guessed that. But not my older schools at annual contests, and if they did, I sure wasn't part of them. That makes sense. Olivia, what's your main style? She just raises an eyebrow. It's no shit. You know, what's style? You know, paint versus pens, that shit? She smiles wryly as I fumble the words.
Like her medium?
Damien asks as he mauls his food with his foot. Parkinson's is not a swear, it's a medical condition. Yeah, but it's still kind of weird and rude to bring it up in the middle of something. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because... Excuse me. Out here in the Netherlands, things like cancer and typhoid are considered swears. So maybe that's just me. But it's not even that it's a swear. It's like it's kind of rude and inconsiderate to start pulling that stuff out. You know, it's a lower register than the more polite conversations that the characters in the Wani have, is what I mean. And that register mishmash is what I'm talking about. Not necessarily swearing. Listen, the people who like this stuff, they're probably all a bunch of anime nerds. They should know about the importance of register, considering that's pretty much all Japanese is from certain perspectives.
Actually, yeah, that is what I meant. He flashed a thumbs up with his friend. Well, what a nice guy. He's got your back. I look back to Olivia. I guess I'm not expecting much of an answer, but any indication would be nice. He said I see her mouth something. Is that really without an E? It feels like the E should be there, similar to breathe, to make it clear that you're communicating something. No, it is apparently just mouth. Try another source. Wiktionary tends to be a bit more complete on this stuff. Oh, the E is a rare form. Again, it's because of breathing, where breath and breathe, one is an E. Here's your answer for swearing you're Danish. My Danish! I was gonna eat that! That looked okay. I didn't quite catch that. Again, a silent mouthing. Maybe she's saying it under her breath, but I cannot read lips for shit. Especially if those lips are more like a snoot. A snout? Snoot? No, it's a snout. Sorry, can you speak up? Paint! She snaps, slamming a hand on the cafeteria table. She has a consistent amount of vocal fry, but that outburst was hoarse. Paint! I'm surprised she didn't devolve into a coughing fit afterwards. Whoa, Damien soothes, removing a slice of meat from his gullet. Hold on, I need a quick snack to pick myself up. I swear it's not crack cocaine. Don't worry about it. And if it was, I would share. I promise. Listen, a man needs to recover a little bit. No mind transition, need to up your instat. My int! I dropped all my intelligences. Let's go. Olivia immediately recedes back into passivity. It does make me curious, as clearly reluctant as she is to talk. Can I see some of your work? Still can't fathom anything beyond the sketch you'd inked out in a blink of an eye. But I want my imagination defied. She's a curious look before averting her eyes and gruffly saying, I don't have any on me. Damien had since finished his plate and was now piece by piece reclaiming more from my untouched chair. He's taking it back. No deal. I've got pictures on my phone. He pulls out a U-Phone 14 that's more cracked than screen at this point. More of Olivia's art into a kaleidoscope, surprisingly not detracting much from the color or composition. Though I do lament that the finer details are completely lost. A piece like a piece like she'd make an AP art couldn't have translated with viewed like this. That's cool. Maybe I can see the next one you do in person. Her eyes widen and her scales flush again. I don't know. Now, I have objections to the idea of skin flushing because it's the blood underneath, so you would describe the body part, not the surface layer. Keep checking my finger in between the swipes. The screen is seriously a safety hazard. That's a semicolon situation. It's a wonder that it hasn't completely fallen to pieces. Some of these remind me of something I saw recently. Her eyes flick back to me as I struggle to recall. Yeah, especially some of these pieces. I point out a series of watercolors with a dark color palette.
They're really simple scenes, a park, a suburb, or a peak overlooking a town. Not exactly, maybe? I squint my eyes as close as possible, but it's no use! Damien's phone is beyond the busted. What's it remind you of, eh, man? Not fond of the nickname because it makes me sound like I'm religious, but at least it's close to the original inoffense. No, man, it's pretty close to amen. And anon, actually, so I don't know. I lean back after handing over the phone. Have I ever considered art recently? Would be in this school since anime Booba and Kiki hardly evoke a sense of critique. At least not in the way I'm viewing those pieces. It was a low point. Wait. It was a low point. Like that narrows it. It should be a new paragraph, man. Like it narrows it down. Was I in pain? Sounds familiar, so it must have been yesterday. You've been here 2 days, man. There's not that much time to flash forward through. The big display case in the gala hall. Oh, it was a cityscape. You know, man, if it wasn't for her. You okay, Anna? You were smiling for a bit, and then Damien's words snapped me out of my fuming. Now you're seething, man. My eyes are locked onto Olivia, returns to faith with crossed arms and a glower. Silver slits for eyes. She sounds so mean. Train their malice on me again. Oh, you guys cool? Damien stands up ready to physically place himself between us. Yeah, sorry. I'm not really. I just want to leave right now. I was talking about that big cityscape in the gala. The big case. Tension fades for a moment as I plan my exit. Olivia picks at her food absentmindedly. I painted that. Oh, cool. Everyone's standing up. Are you all just mocking Olivia? Well, it looks awesome. Do you have any artist blood in your family, Anon? Well, that was my grandpa, but apparently got rejected from art school and later moved to art. What? Well, it looks awesome. Just wish I had a better chance to look at it before you steamrolled me in the halls! Cue that same malevolent glare. I place both hands on the table and meet her eyes to return the scent. You're really talented. Have a good rest of your lunch. I grab my bag and walk away as Damien tries to figure out what just happened from a mute Olivia. Anon. Ben walks up to me through the crowd. I was looking for you. Sure, let's walk and talk, Ben. Was that Olivia and Damien? Good to see you are making friends. Olivia could certainly use one. Well, needing and wanting are pretty different things, Ben. I try to cool myself off. It isn't an attitude, at least not entirely. It's that look. It's how she looks at me in spite of my best efforts at kindness. Shittiest. Anna, you are not a man capable of kindness in the way that is necessary, buddy. Pat in the back. You're not there yet. In spite of her own blessing and skills. What are you talking about, Anon? Is this Anon? Hello? Can I get a call to Anon HQ? Can I get a new one? Mine's busted. Mine's acting very strangely. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be any different with talent. Hell, I'm probably not much better than her as I am now. But I'm trying. Shows me for even doing that. Yeah. That's what I know. Jeez, that is so deliciously short-sighted. How is she not trying? Have you ever seen her try? Maybe she doesn't want to try anymore. Maybe she's tried enough today. Ah, I see, Ben sheepishly says. Well, I actually came when I heard about what happened at PE yesterday. Come on, Ben. I really don't need anyone else bringing that up. Do they? Ben gestures over to someone who begins making their way through the crowd. They're taller. Easily a head taller than me. Platinum blonde haired, hot pink. Mia just had something to say to you. She has something to say. She hasn't said it yet. Now, I'm not the most socially grateful. I have been not so lovingly referred to as many variations of on the spectrum. Man, you've already called yourself a super artist. What the fuck are you smoking that you are pretending to care now? And even I can tell what's happening based on Mia's murderous glare. I don't know why, and I frankly don't care. Before she could even stand before me, I raised both hands. Listen, Ben, there is no need for Mia or you. Anon, please, it is only right that she has a chance to apologize. Or you have the chance to force her to. Hey, Ben, look at me. I level with him. Mia now stands by, arms crossed and head tilted. I am fine. I'm also Steve, but that's besides the point. What happened yesterday... Oh, wait. What happened, and you wouldn't believe the room. What happened, and you shouldn't believe rumors. I got beamed in the head. He got bean-boozled. Our poor man got bean-boozled. It was Mia that did it, yeah, but it was all in good sport, right? I'm fine now. I didn't die. Hell was only slightly unpleasant. Mia's glare is replaced by a somehow more sinister smile. Don't cut in line. And he rebuilt it in the E1 Fong Robocop style. God damn it. She is a robot. She is a cop. She is a Robert cop. I mean a fan cop. It's like Pets Cop. Because of monkey. Wait, I'm at the wrong sentence. So fine now.
Oh, see, Bunny? I told you we were on the same page. Why would I hurt my purpose anyway? Because Monkey Boy, we got to play my favorite game. Because of Monkey Boy, we got to play my favorite game.
And on X-Me, listen, I'm working on it, but I just can't. My brain is being extremely difficult. I'm terrified of what people will say. So, it's kind of this vicious cycle of, I've got to refine this so that it's actually good. I got to finish it so I can upload it all at once and I don't have to worry too much about uploading something incomplete. And I'm still terrified of potential, I don't know, I'm just not in a good place. But I am writing, and on Xmia. He deserves it, though. I mean, in a bit, it's gonna get real, woof. Ben seems a little taken aback by the conversational tone. Please don't use such a demeaning nickname here. No, that's not demeaning, that's just straight up racist, my man. Like, don't even pretend it's not that bad. But I see. Then I suppose I just read too much into business speculation. I'm sorry for making a mountain out of a molehill. And I'm sorry for not believing you, Mia.
Oh, I can never stay mad at you, Benny boy.
He pulls him close, causing the blue parasol to writhe in embarrassment.
Of course, you can always make it up with me later tonight, just like we planned.
And on run. They're gonna start snogging. I like how Arthur is interested, even though, like, you know what I write, Arthur. You know that I'm gonna be weird about it. It's not just gonna be a straight ship, because I don't do that. I can't. I physically can't. Every bone in my body tells me that I'm an idiot if I try. It's like, no, there's so much more we can do. I can show you the world. Alright, I don't need to be witnessing this a dream come true. Honestly, I'm fucking seething internally at what Ben has. Molding even. Oh, you're already bald. Though you can never tell with my bald scalp. God damn it. I mean, Mia's scary, but so is any woman, honestly. Except Olivia, you were perfectly fine with her. It'd be nice to be treated so well by someone otherwise so hostile. Start to back away, with the lovers already having forgotten the point of their rendezvous. Lucky bastard. There I thought Ben was a total weeb. But that netted a lot of respect from me, honestly. I'll just head to AP Photography. Pretty sure Ben shares it with me, but he's indisposed like a fly in a spider's web. God, I wish that was me. Listen, I know someone who loves saying that, and it's fucking great. It's the best shit ever. He has that meme on speed dial. God, now I got a whole other Mia thing in my head. Hey guys, is it normal to want to ship, but not romantically? Just like get two people to be great pals, just like shaking hands. Am I weird? Am I just weird? I'm weird, aren't I? Oh shit. Lucky bastard. You know, I thought Ben was a total dweeb, but that netted a ton of respect from me in all honesty. I'll just head to AP. For some reason, my brain was like, AP pornography, and on, whoa, buddy, slow down. I'll just head to AP photography. Pretty sure Ben shares it with me, but he's indisposed like a fly in a spider's web. God, I wish that were me. The Atacant's teaching style changes very little between subjects, except now his starting lethargy is completely gone, animately snapping a Polaroid of each student and affixing a random title. Mine being d'étudiant sans point. I know more than ghost words in random languages. I'm certain it'll be a subtle league. Ben ends up next to me and after his impromptu portrait. Bichet à éclat bleu. That's why they call it friendship. Yes, I know! I'm just weird like that.
Everyone says friendship is magic until they have to write the smut. And then it's like, man, it's kissing time, baby.
God damn it. The laptop gun from Perfect Dark? I just fucking... Jesus Christ. Yelling at people. Speeding through the syllabus, the Otacon spends most of the class extolling the virtues of, get this, lighting. The thing that's everywhere? Maybe I don't have a mind for this stuff. Each implement he brought out to produce a new effect seems to be several $100s of waste of money. The final 10 minutes are relegated to workshopping the assignment with our classmates. Given my complete lack of knowledge, Ben offers to help me out with a joint shot on our lighting assignment. I agree with an air of reluctance to hide my exuberance. Then friendship becomes aggressive pegging. You know, playing Peggle with friends is always nice. Also, Anon, let me apologize for earlier. I was going to apologize to you better for the whole mix-up, and then, of course, Mia. Hold up a hand, sparing Benny from the anxiety and myself from the jealousy. It's all forgotten and forgiven. If only. Great to hear. That's a weight off my chest. But aside from that, have you found everything at St. Hammond's? Terrible. Great, I say unenthusiastically. Great, I say unenthusiastically. Dumbledore said calmly. At any rate, it's church pace for my last school. In what way? In too many ways. Being the sole human is probably being a lot of it. Being the new kid for the rest. Well, I certainly hope that you haven't had anyone make you feel unwelcome. You were at Olivia's table at lunch, weren't you? How was that? Well, I consider my words carefully instead of just dumping it all out. Dumping out all my frustration on this poor guy. Damien made me his best friend and Olivia's. Olivia is Olivia? He quickly asks, with a look of knowing disappointment on his face. I shrug. I'm guessing you know better than I do. New Peggle roguelike dropped. W's Number Factory is peak dopamine injection. Looks something like, yeah, I saw that. Hold up, I need a quick snack. There we go. All the snacks are gone now. Gosh. Well, you know what they say, Luigi. Let's get going. Graphic sexuals when a game dares to have a unique art style that doesn't melt their 50,000 setup instead of generic slop. Well, gosh. A tasty tweet that can't be beat. damn it, these fucking chats. Have you tried being taller than 2 feet 8? God damn. The slag and shade getting thrown in my mans. Alright. I'm guessing you know better than me. Well, the first thing you ought to know when it comes to Olivia is... Gentlemen! Cannot sing about your assignment. What else would we be discussing? Oh, that's good then. Good thing you guys weren't talking about something embarrassing or off-topic, like gossip. That'd be pretty embarrassing. Waste most of your time right out of the bad side. Especially considering you're the subject of some fairly humorous gossip yourself, aren't you, Mr. Moose? I haven't heard the end of it yet. The edge in my voice makes it a bit harsher than intended. It goes from embarrassed to concerned in my tone, and the Anacon's looking somewhat disappointing but understanding. If the air needs around someone needs clearing, clear it yourself. Sure, I can just ask her, right? Then when she growls at me or runs me over, I'll be clueless and potentially injured. Yeah. But that's why you're a fucking loner loser, Anon, because you don't do that, ever. You can't just take away the thing that makes loser loners loner losers. The bell rings shortly after, and the Anacon's next line addresses the whole class. All right, off you go now. Remember the assignment and get it done by the end of the week. The room clears out, with ashamed Ben slinking out with his tail between his legs. Whatever, I don't really care about any of the drama. Jeez, what happened to my original plan this year? It's a class, the final one of the day, history. As generic as it may be. As generic as can be, given what history class would look like in a John Hughes film. Yeah, about as close as you need to be. I pick a seat at the random and slam my head onto the desk. Damn, I'm tired. That's because you're suffering brain damage. Still no teacher present. And that persists until just before the bell when the door swings open. When I look up, Coach Solly standing in the door with an unpicked look at class. Why must God continue to beat me down so? Solly seems more like a guy that thinks the 70s were a psyop rather than a lover of history. Actually, that'd be you, Anna. Don't project. A tan-raptor woman in a purple dress steps past him, adjusting her glasses. Thanks for walking to my class, Solly. Of course, Mrs. Prockling, he salutes before taking his leave. The teacher walks to the front of the class now. Looks like we have some late arrivals, but let's get down to business. I know I introduced myself yesterday, but for those who weren't there... A glance at me more than confirms that Coach Solly already expounded upon the incidents of yesterday to her. My name is Mrs. Prockling, and this is World History. In this course, you will be learning about our primeval ancestors and their advancements through history. You can even say it's like going back through time. Doesn't that sound exciting? Miss Prockling switches on the projector with a slideshow titled Early Saurians and the Hominids, already prepped. This is either going to be extremely boring or I'm going to be ganged up over my race's aggressive past. Goddamn critical dino theory that has nothing to do with history that far ago when you really dig down to. Actually, it does because history is, aligned, but come on, and at least be topical, at least be smart. Otherwise, it's too easy. It was the former. Of course it is, Anon, it's history. The only time something cool happens, it's the stuff that you're supposed to feel bad about for some reason. And that's when we invented the nuclear bomb. Yay! Which is bad. Aww. Then we used mustard gas. Yay! Which is bad. Aww. And that's when we sent a dog to space. Yay! The dog died. Aww. Can't we do anything cool without someone dying? Nope. It's the former. My eyes roam over wall after wall of damn near meaningless flavor text. Flavor text. Ugh. One important human figure in Snoot history, Donkey Kong. Damn. About a early human interaction with Native American dinos. My mind... Oh, so we're sticking with that? My mind begins to wander, and instead of my failed plan, the friends I've made in spite of it. Wait. My mind begins to wander, thinking instead of my failed plan, the friends I've made in spite of it, and the exasperation it all brings. Ben is a goody two-shoes normie, but a nice person ultimately. If you really get down to the bottom, I guess somewhere in there is like a half-decent guy. Maybe just a little bit. I don't know what to tell you, man. Hit the pointer. Gosh, I really love how low-key this is. Sorry. This isn't the MCU. How do you know Leica the Space Dog died? It's not confirmed. Get out of here. Ben is a goody two-shoes normie, but a nice person ultimately. Though how he got me or what that entails, I avoid dwelling on to spare my tear ducts. Damien is a kind of bro, I gotta admit that. Aside from his off-putting enthusiasm for everything, he's a genuinely nice guy who decided to try and include me in his friend group. And Livia? Well, damn it, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a prick to people too, and she's just a bit more aloof about it. If it weren't for those looks she gave me, maybe I wouldn't have been so negative about her. She's clearly talented, introverted like me, rude. Is it my place to judge, though? I'm probably not much better, and only my ego makes me think otherwise. That is extremely self-aware of you, Anon. What the hell? And what do we have, Mrs. Halford? And what do we have, Mrs. Halford? Miss Prockling's voice snaps me out from my spiraling ruminations. Are they spiraling, though? Looking up, I see that she stood before Olivia of all people. How did I miss the wheelchair-bound genie? Wheelbear. In any case, Miss Prockling holds aloft a slip of paper. Only the second day of the school year and already doodling again, Mrs. Prockling sighs. And for some reason, my frustration switches from Olivia to the teacher, suddenly uniting us, if only in my head. Is there any other uniting to be done right now? Is this lady seriously going off on us because we don't get this stuff? Some people just don't learn like that. You gotta do it face to face. You can't just hand them a packet. You expect an artist, aka the majority of this damn school, to just sit and listen to droning and then make them read the majority of what you've already said verbatim? I unclench my fist. Shut up, Arthur. You're not that cool. Wow. Maybe that was just building up for a little while. It's hard to justify Prockling's class when people like Ayatacon seem to exist. I doubt he does it for the paycheck with how impassioned he seems. Listen, Olivia, I know it's not the most exciting subject to learn, but could you at least pretend to be taking notes? Olivia simply responds with a heavy sigh before slouching back down while Mrs. Prockling returns to stalking around the room as she lectures. Distrusting of our unaided motivation. It's not long after that I see my peers passing something from desk to desk. A slip of paper goes from one student who scribbles something out on it, and then to the next who continues the cycle. Is it a get well soon card? No, it doesn't fit. And I wouldn't be hiding it from Prockling. A game, maybe? Before I can fully gather what is at play, a nearby student goes for a pass just as Prockling turns, fouling it directly onto my desk. I quickly smack a cupped hand over the contraband, narrowly avoiding being caught with it. I take a deep breath and still my pounding heart, revealing what's been passed around, and I'm sure Prockling won't see. It's a sheet of paper about twice the size of my hand, with a little crease down the middle to slim it for passing. Subtly unfurling the page, I finally get it. It's a sketch game. Each student draws something, most being rough even for an art school. There's the regular suspects, a stupid sharp S symbol that everyone knows how to draw. You gotta draw a loss. An unflattering portrait of Mr. Prockling with a speech bubble that says I'm a big fat meaty and a dick. Classic. Now it's my turn. What the hell do I draw? Why isn't she saying, oh, stinky? I'm stinky. You're stinky. Okay, we have to skip this. There's some extremely horrifying art coming up. I recommend reading the original work to see for yourself what horrible things await you here. It truly brings a chill to your spine. I've got the art skills of Stevie Wonder. Okay, Anon, what's something easy that you see a lot of then? Wait, stone-faced frog comes to mind. What's the harm in trying? Failing. No, I pushed that aside. This is the first time I've even accidentally been included in schoolmate antics. Well, here goes nothing. I push out the sketch in several bursts, maybe bogarting a bit longer than anyone else. But I want it to look as good as possible. This is an art school after all, and I have my pride. No, you don't. You drew a Fuda. Don't draw a Phinia, Anon, please. A fine look at my masterpiece, and feels bad, man. I'm not making it out of the hoods with this one, but it'll have to do. I wait an opening. Of course, I'm going to pass it to Olivia next. After a little spat with Prockling, I can't help but feel a bit bad about all the judgment that I've been slinging. You know, glass houses and all that? But she's not all that bad. She did give me that badass sketch without any arm twisting or coercion. I guess I can't blame her for being so cagey otherwise. I don't remember how I conducted myself every time I spoke to her, but I know that my words failed me more often than not. I'll ignore getting run over on my first day for now. That was a pretty big dig move to bring up out of nowhere anyways. To see the opportunity, I decided not to test my hand-eye coordination, opting instead to slide the paper over her shoulder. It's not even a moment of hesitation. The second I tap her shoulder, she hurriedly snatches it from me. She clearly knew without looking what was coming to her. I watch her unfold the paper. Is she wagging her tail? Yeah, she's knocking it back and forth like a metronome. It's kind of endearing. It's a sort of unabashed joy that I hadn't really imagined her capable for some reason. I can't be certain, but it seems like she's appreciating all the doodles before taking up the pen herself. I suddenly stretched and craned my neck, as it would let me see when her eyes landed upon mine. Which is when her tail stopped swagging. Oh no, oh shit. Am I stupid? Am I retarded? Damn it. What if she fell for the frogman hate symbol psyop? Oh, please don't fucking look back now. Alright, I wrote everything. And on, you'll be a dickhead and a white supremacist. Are you? Might as well live up to it. So, I wanted to give a big speech about this, but I'm going to sum it up as this. Like, why can you claim a symbol, but you can't reclaim it? I never get that part. It's like, you can just walk up to someone and be like, actually, the OK sign is white power. And, like, a whole bunch of people will just say it's bad now. They won't try to stop you. They won't try to do anything. They'll just say, it's okay, I'll roll over now. The same goes for these people, right? I'm not saying this is just one side. It's both. Both are fucking cowards about this, and it's so weird. The original author didn't like this. So, like, I don't know, man. Is culture an immutable thing or not? Come on, pick a side and stick to it. Show some guts. Be a jerk. Fucking weirdos. Bunch of normies with no imagination. He doesn't have time to look back at me as I cower in a jumble of my own arms. It's because Anon, she's also a supremacist, and she knows exactly what that symbol means. The you and her are gonna have to fight it out on that girly forum of hers, and it's gonna be awful. Oh my god, Anon might have already posted on that forum now that I think about it. Anon is exactly the kind of person to have already posted callouts on that. Fuck. He's gonna look at that and go, oh shit, Susie69, that's me. Ah! Author probably didn't do that, but hey, if he did it, points to him. I'll be taking that. Mrs. Prockling snatches the sheet from Olivia's face. Ms. Prockling, she's not married. Oh no. Why does this feel worse? The sinking pit of my stomach only deepens as our class collective sins fall upon one who enjoy the act the most. Should I take the blame? Wait, should I? I can't even drink milk without German LARPer showing up. What? Excuse me. Did you know that if you got milk, it's a political thing in America? I don't even know, man. Mrs. Prockling smiles lightly at the collage, and then back to irritated just as quickly as she points to the rendering of herself. Is this how you view me, Mrs. Halford? This isn't fair to put it all on her, damn it. Then do something, you coward. The teacher holds the sheet up to class, everyone's eyes behind avoiding it like the sun. I know that most of you were part of this as well. Look, I'm not asking much. Do your assignments when you're in class, it's the least you can do. The entire class begins coping as they whisper among each other, only doubling down with Olivia as the scapegoat. I feel another familiar pang of realization. No one has her back either. Look, since it's only the second day, let it slide. But I'm warning you that I will not be so lenient next time this happens. Otherwise, you end up the last student who decided to be disruptive during class. Oh, what happened to him? You get a detention slip or something? Prockling frowns before walking to the window, raising the blinds and pushing open the screen. Screen? There's a screen and a blind? Or are there blinds in front of an open window that has a mosquito screen? I guess. She retrieves the walkie-talkie before talking into it. I imagine she wouldn't be walking into it, so... Solly, yes, another hippie. H4. There's a lag of about 3 seconds. Then a red blur rockets into the room and over everyone's heads, perfectly slicing through an imaginary student sitting in the targeted seat. Yet even Mrs. Prockling's pran miss is not without danger as the ball rebounds several times, taking down several posters, before coming to rest on the floor. Good job, soldier. Prockling closes the window and returns to the head of the class. Now, if we can, let's continue. Coach Solly is neither monkey nor man. Neither any combination of the two could ever explain the feat he just pulled off. That would have been impressive enough on the ground floor, but this was on the second story, and even greater than that, the mind boggles to imagine how I may have angled it all the way in the gymnasium, facing an entire 90-degree minimum. Message received, Mrs. Prockling. After initial pants-shedding terror, though, the pit of guilt in my stomach rears its head again. I wouldn't have got Olivia in trouble for everyone else's choices, but I was too cowardly even to say anything to her defense. Would it have helped? Probably not. But it is little to assuage the piercing pain in my guts. I'll apologize for that, and the blow-up at lunch after class. The period continues the same as it ever was. was before, but at 10 minutes to the bell, Olivia shares a knowing look with Brockling, who simply nods in return. She gathers her stuff and wheels out just like that. Well, that goes my planned good deed. Though it may not be so good as reparative. Miss Brockling sees my wordless confusion, bothering to give me an answer of accommodations, whatever that means. I sullenly spend the rest of the periods taking down notes until they devolve into caviar factories. I don't feel anxious about it. Did she see my doodle? Did she recognize it? Would she hate me or not care at all? Am I even trying? Still not through what is considered the demo. Hope you're deep cuts initial references that are to intercaled through an overall story as more study may begin with that. You don't forget the bookmark things to the come. What an extremely straightforward bunch of comments. So that was that. Next week we'll do chapter 3. I'll have read up to that. I don't know what to tell you. But let's read some of the comments, see if there's anything fun down here. I finished the game and I'm still confused about the part where Anna keeps saying, oh, I feel so bad I need to apologize, but then never ever talk about it again, like, did you just forget about it? Yeah. I'm curious what Anna arrives in the middle of the school year and acts like it's at the beginning. The section is one way she's Jessica Flower deals us is the start of the future because it's humiliation. Okay. So we are following the hard timeline. Once I definitely enjoyed this, she did notice it. Yeah, Anna has more in common with her. So I disagree with how you feel about the oblivious dumbass known as Inko. I can get preferring Anon's character over him. There's some interest with someone as rude as brash as him finding relationships with those you never expected. Truth. Should clarify that I haven't finished one yet. It's July, man. Of either E3 or E2, but I haven't. Okay. But trust me, I say I won't judge all of them. Frankly, the reason I would have probably grown to like Inko so much, despite the fact that I could see bits of myself in him as well. Compared to Anon's flaws, were pretty damn near blatant throughout. It was good. Okay. The art skills of Stevie Wonder. Just because he can't see shit doesn't mean he can't try. Oh shit! Here's an interesting thing. What the hell happened at the end? What kind of blissful fantasies that would it takes? What kind of blissful fantasy is it that takes the most out of the atmosphere? I'm not sure I could follow. I'm talking about the moment where Coach Charlie threw the ball. Isn't this too much? I understand the school can be harsh, but this... By the way, I haven't played the original game yet. I haven't translation into Russian. Yeah, that moment is really weird, but that's because most of the demo section, the first 4 chapters, are kind of cartoonish compared to the rest. Damn, after the dozen fan fictions I read, I'm starting to realize I don't like the main character. I'm used to the fact that the main character, although a tough guy, at least has some catchy features. I don't see this in Anon. It infuriates how he behaves and how he is treated. It's clear that he's intended to be this way. It's just infuriating the injustice of his life is presented in the original as the norm and correctness. Yeah, there is a degree of like... Anon drawing Pepe the Frog for a crippled baryonyx, the funniest shit I've ever read. I don't even know what that means. Holy shit, this is a big comment. What are these comments? Quite a enjoyable experience, but I will say that Anon's a bit too eager to probe Olivia's art. But then again, he seems slightly different as a... Yeah, I pointed this out. So hey, someone asked the question. Let's see what the answer is. Definitely a chance to Ban's cameo appearance with this story. Do you mind elaborating when you... First thing caught my eyes, could I see it? The response is, it seems somewhat odd for him, given that he tries to stay invisible and avoid social interactions in the canon. Now, him asking that would make sense if he had recognized that a drawing was important to him before he asked, but only recognized it after. It just seemed like he had no motive to try and pry without acknowledging the detail. Again, it's not a big deal. It doesn't negatively impact the story. The other line threw me for a loop, but that's cool, but can you show more of them, like in person? Then Olivia blushed. You can easily chalk it up to him being slightly different from canonical Anna. A lot of fics do that, and nobody sees it as bad. This one, I don't know. It seemed too out of characters for Anna, non-considering, like, what, his 3rd or 2nd interaction with her? I think it would have been better if he asked this after they passed notes to each other in class, and he showed the sketches that she made after Yadaka said they could be good friends, because, you know, she would have basically already been drawing him, and he could have just asked for them to remove Barton from the equation. If that makes any sense. As for Olivia blushing, I don't remember if that happened so soon in Wani, but her actions in the first half of the chapter, I haven't read the entire thing yet, seem way too cold, like she was in the game, for someone who to be blushing when she was yeah, fair enough. I feel like you have a good plan on how they would interact, but pulled those cards way too early. But then again, these are my details in the story. Points definitely make sense. I didn't see it from that perspective. 100% get you, appreciate the detailed explanation. I guess my rationale for Anon's actions that despite his isolation he sees interaction. Well, kind of the point, right, is that Anon doesn't. He's kind of convinced himself that he doesn't deserve it, right? That's the whole mentality. And I guess if you remove that, it's easier to go that way. The in-person comments is autism. Clarifying, doesn't want to see secondhand pictures of them. Because of, you know, Damien's phone, I guess. Actions system. How he presents himself. His lack of skill or any artistic basis means that his unfiltered reaction are more genuine in her mind. Blushes are pure embarrassment. He's nowhere near as conventionally nice as Nico. Damn, your version of Anon is surprisingly similar to the from the game. Yeah, they wouldn't. That's what you have to do to make the story work. That's the contrivance that gets them in the room together, and then you have them do it organically. Ugh. Like, if you want to write the story, if you genuinely want these two characters to interact, if you genuinely want that crossover, you have to work at it. Instead of just shortcutting your ass because you're a lazy bastard. I shake my fist angrily. We're getting more goofy sketches, apparently. Well, that was that, anyway. I'm going to be reading the other 2 chapters, and we'll do chapter 3 and the other one next week. So that's great. Yeah. It's not bad. I think I was more negative at first, but on a second read, it's a bit finer. I don't know. It's not terrible, and I think that's way ahead of where I was recently. With Nothing to Something. Punch Drunk Gator kind of disappointed me in places, but all in all, I'm feeling pretty good. Right? Feeling pretty good. Right? See you guys next week. Remember to show up, or I'll call you a big bingus.